Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. My name is Shirletta Germain. I'm the host of the Shet Show, Abundance Conversations. And today we have a guest whose story is nothing short of inspiring. But before we dive in to our enlightening conversation, let me take a moment to remind you that this show is all about sharing stories of resilience, growth, and the personal pursuit of abundance in every facet of life. We aim to bring you guests who exemplify these principles, individuals whose journeys can illuminate our own paths. And speaking of this remarkable journey, today's guest is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the pursuit of wellness and wholeness. She's an accomplished mental health professional, author, and advocate for mental well-being. NaTanya Albritton is, in her own words, the autobiography, which is the special guest for today. I'll be reading from her own penmanship. And so, Infinite Life Force and Therapeutic Solutions, ILTS for short, was established in 2017 in response to the significant challenges faced by the residents of Flint, Michigan during the water crisis. Aside from the physical damage received by many of the residents of Flint, the overall mental health of the community, to include my mother, was affected, which was the driving force behind my desire to create this business. I was not sure how it was going to look initially. I was guided by God to establish the business. Due to becoming a caregiver for my mother, I had to delay the starting of the business for a few years. I am currently a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia and currently see clients virtually. I received my bachelor in communication from Howard University. I received my master's in professional counseling from Grand Canyon University. I have gathered over 25 years of experience in diverse fields, including law enforcement, education, background investigations. Each field has contributed to my skill sets in working with trauma, family/relational issues, and stress management. During the pandemic, my family and I relocated back to Michigan. It was a perfect time to reactivate ILTS and pursue licensure for the state of Michigan. Over the past 11 years, I have worked and studied in the field of mental health. My eclectic approach draws from evidence-based approaches to include, but not limited to, cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, and solution-focused brief therapy, SFBT, spiritual counseling, and mindfulness techniques. I am often asked, what is spiritual counseling? It's centered around a client's specific goals and needs towards their holistic personal growth, mind, body, and spirit. A lot of shadow work and inner child healing is involved. I have been described as having a very mindful presence and empathetic listening skills, which help create meaningful counseling relationships. I consider myself to be a facilitator in my clients' healing and transformational journey. I work with individuals who deal with anxiety, depression, intimacy issues, and anger management. I encourage my clients to be honest and willing to be open to change during the process of discovery of self. My overall goal is to help my clients foster a deeper, more congruent sense of self. Now, what on earth is IV therapy? IV therapy involves IV drips infused in a liter of fluids delivered directly into the bloodstream with essential vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and amino acids to provide your body with the nourishment it needs. I can say that it was not a part of the original business plan, but I believe in divine timing. My family and I were introduced to IV infusion therapy during the pandemic. I researched the benefits of IV therapy and mental health therapy and was sold on the idea of incorporating both services within the business. The IV infusion supplements will be provided by Hydrate, and administered by our medical director, Teresa McKenzie, a registered nurse in the state of Michigan, after clients are screened by a doctor. The combination of IV therapy and counseling have been identified as a useful adjunct therapy for individuals undergoing treatment for anxiety or depression. It can assist in relieving the symptoms of anxiety and depression. This is due to the nutrients such as taurine and magnesium, which have been shown in clinical studies to reduce the effects of stress, promote a good night's sleep, and calm feelings of anxiety. Our mission at ILTS is to provide knowledgeable, compassionate, and effective therapy solutions within a warm, inviting private practice setting. The goal for our clients is to experience the power of IV infusion therapy and help them unlock their personal power. So we look forward to servicing you at the Infinite Life Force Therapeutic Solutions. NaTanya, I have been talking for so long, and I'm so very honored to have you on the show. How are you, beloved? Wealthy, grand, rising, joyous, rising. Tell us who you are in your own words. I'm shutting up. SHETT. No, I'm kidding. How are you? And where are you from? And what brings you to the show today? The mic is yours, beloved.
Okay. Well, again, my name is NaTanya Albritton. And first of all, thank you for having me on the show. I hail from Flint, Michigan, born and raised. So I'm here to talk about basically the importance of investing in your mental health. That's pretty much it.
This is such a delicious topic. We have unpacked a little bit. We'll be talking to NaTanya Albritton in probably at least 3-part series. I'm not able to get all of this information. As you can hear and see, she's a large wealth of knowledge. So we won't be able to pull everything from her. And also, we know that she has things to do in her journey. So I want to tap right in. NaTanya, as a mental health therapist serving communities in both Michigan and Georgia, could you share why it's vital for individuals, regardless of location, to prioritize their mental health and invest in it? Much like they do, with their physical health.
So I think that it's crucial for individuals, regardless of their location, to prioritize their mental health because it directly impacts their overall well-being. You know, people don't think about how the mental health is intertwined with our physical health. Everything is interconnected. So, you know, when you're stressed, when you're anxious, it affects your physical body, you know, after a while. So if you continue to ignore it, then you're going to have some issues. So it's very important to invest in your mental health. It's very important because it helps individuals build resilience, cope with challenges, and just lead more fulfilling lives. I think that is a fundamental aspect of holistic health. And it transcends geographical locations. So whether you're in Michigan, whether you're in Georgia, North Carolina, wherever, it doesn't matter.
Communities across different states face unique challenges. So how have you observed the significance of mental health investment in diverse communities? And what kind of strategies do you recommend for individuals to navigate these challenges effectively? So I'll break that question down because that was a lot. You talked about, transcending across geographical lines. Flint particularly is important to me, and people will hear me interviewing about Flint because that's where I'm from. Mm-hmm. I'm very concerned about not only the state of the economy in the city, but also the state of the mental health. So when you're talking about just a city like Flint, what did you notice in coming into the city, and what kind of strategies have you implemented in your own line of therapy? I guess is a better way to ask that question.
I think Flint has definitely been faced with some unique challenges that have definitely significantly impacted the mental health of the people here. For instance, economic disparities, cultural differences, and access to resources all play a role. I think that I've observed in different communities that prioritize mental health, they tend to have a lower rate of substance abuse. They have better family dynamics and a higher overall well-being. I would say some strategies to navigate through these challenges will include just education, just having access to mental health resources, and just a culturally sensitive therapy, just culturally sensitive therapy options.
Talk to me about a little bit about culturally sensitive. How would you break that down to a person that might not understand or has never even heard of that word?
Well, I would simply say, we have different socioeconomic statuses, and people just deal with life differently. The stresses of like everyday life, and we deal with different issues. So, I guess it just depends on the person. It really honestly boils down to socioeconomic status, to keep it real.
All right. So NaTanya, what are some universally applicable daily habits or routines that people, regardless of where they live, can incorporate into their lives to support their mental well-being, especially during difficult times? Unfortunately, as a segue to this question, I know that there's a lot that's going on in the city. And personally, there's some people that I know, some friends that we both personally share, that have lost their loved ones due to chronic illnesses and just grief support. So in thinking about this question, what types of habits or routines that people, regardless of their socioeconomic background, can start working with when you're thinking about first steps in investing in mental health for a person that's never even thought about it or have any type of routine? What would you say?
Okay, so I would say there are several daily habits that can support mental health, your whole overall well-being. Some would include regular exercise, adequate sleep, balanced nutrition, and mindfulness practices like meditation, deep breathing, just maintaining social connections, and setting some time for hobbies or activities that bring you joy. Habits that create a foundation for emotional resilience and overall mental health.
I got to tap into that question before we go into the next one, because you brought something up that a lot of people don't discuss, and that's the sleep. We're not getting sleep. And how, in your opinion, your professional opinion, do you feel like how do you feel like sleep affects the body and stress, or the lack of sleep? And how is that it's showing up in ways, or do you think that person is just more combative, more tight? Are they working more? Are they, talk to me a little bit about that.
So if you're not getting sleep, you're going to end up feeling stressed and anxious, just all kind of discomfort, within your body. And it's just very important. I think that sleep is a big part of healing your body. I've been told that I've learned through my coaches, a few coaches, that going to sleep, I think between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., those are the times that your body is healing. So you need to rest your body. When you rest, your body heals. That's just the bottom line. You need rest. You can't operate on an empty tank, So sleeping fills your tank. It allows you to rest. It gives your body a break, So it's very vital in the overall healing, emotionally, mentally, physically.
Absolutely. Again, this is such a delicious topic. I always try to keep as tight-lipped as I can, because I want to bring the value out of your story and the things that you've discovered, professionally and possibly personally, if you're ever led to share. But my next question for you, NaTanya, is self-care. This is a topic that transcends geographical boundaries again. Can you elaborate on self-care practices that anyone in Michigan, Georgia, or beyond can adopt to promote good mental health?
Mm-hmm.
And how can they seamlessly integrate these practices into their lives?
I would say self-care is indeed a universal concept. Practicing like something like just exercising, simple exercising, whether it's going walking, meditation, journaling, engaging in activities that just simply bring you joy, fulfilling activities. That's self-care. And also, I would say getting in the habit of setting boundaries with people, in your lives, seeking professional support when needed, and prioritizing rest. We were just talking about rest. Those are crucial aspects of self-care. So I would say that integrating those practices into your daily life involves making them a non-negotiable part of one's routine, just like any other aspect of your health.
So I just had another question that popped up, and I know that we've been talking about meditation a lot. It's one of my favorite topics. I haven't even been able to unpack it on the show. I have a lot of people that say that they have challenges with meditation, either the concept itself of just actually being able to sit and they picture the namaste, the yoga pose where they're actually able to do that. And mentally, they are unable to even get there mentally. So when you talk to a person about deep breathing, when I was in healthcare, I used to tell people that, deep breathing oxygenates the blood and lowers the blood pressure by up to 10 points on each side. And so when you're going to the doctor's office, they always tell you to uncross your legs, put your feet flat on the floor, take a deep breath and try to relax. Right. And we think about that and we're just automated to do that during that time at the doctor's visit, but we don't always recognize that that is a practice that you can have at any time during the day. So because I know that that's one of your passions, they don't know, but they know now, meditation is one of your passions, personal passions, not just a professional. How would you tell a person to just, they're spooked about meditation? How would you just, what would be, just tell them what you would do in your own words to kind of hone in and, make sure that they understand that it's just you breathing.
So meditation looks so different. And it's not just sitting in a yoga pose, saying namaste. You can meditate while you're driving. You can meditate. And I'm not saying like zone out, but meditate, just being present. That's all it is. Meditation is simply being present. That's it. Everything else, all the different thoughts, what you got to do, all that stuff doesn't matter. Just be present and focus on one thing. Just focus on one thing, laser focused. That's meditation. And the thoughts are going to come. The thoughts, the little random thoughts. But you just have to, you can acknowledge them and then refocus. It takes time. It took me a while to get to where I'm at right now. It took me forever because those thoughts just kept coming. But the thoughts, like I said, are going to keep coming. You just have to acknowledge them and then just refocus, but you can wash, like I said, washing dishes, just focus on, I'm washing this glass, just focus. That's real simple. A simple technique. It sounds simple. People are like, what that? No, it works. It helps. Every little bit helps. Slowing down your mind is very important because we're so inundated with information on a daily basis, whether it's social media, the people we deal with. It's just so many outside interferences a lot of times that we don't take the time to focus on self. And it's very important to do so.
If you're just tuning into the show, this is the Shet Show, Abundance Conversations. My name is Charlotta Germain, also known as Shet G, with my godbrother, Larry Penton, also known as Godbrother LP. He's not here today, but I always like to shout him out, him and his lovely wife over in the Carolinas. Today, we're having a very interesting topic, the importance of investing in your mental health. This is part 1 of 3 series with the, I don't even know. I was thinking beautiful, educated. I was thinking just ginormous, just scholastic. I have so many, things that I could put right there before your name. I want people to understand that addressing your mental health is just as important as going to the doctor and having your blood pressure medication refilled. It's just as important as going to get your metformin if you're diabetic and having your inhaler if you happen to be asthmatic. So I wanted to bring NaTanya Albritton to the show as an expert in one of the things, abundance, that we have to address, which is the mental health and transitioning that into normalizing conversations about the vitamins and the nutrients and the things that are important to be fully present, to be fully abundant. So NaTanya, I just wanted to take that segue and make sure that people knew that I value this conversation very much. We've talked a little bit about self-care. We've talked a little bit about different tricks and tips that you can do just in your daily. But breaking the stigma around and surrounding mental health conversations is a nationwide effort. How can individuals, families, communities, no matter where they are, foster open and supportive dialogues about mental health in an inclusive and welcoming environment? And as you're thinking about how to respond to that question, and specifically in the Black communities, we're not allowed to, for religious purposes or spiritual purposes or whatever purposes, we just don't talk about the state of our mental health. And so normalizing those conversations as a professional, I'd like you to, kind of speak on how, from a professional and from a personal, it's a challenge. And I'd like to be able to see how we can address that. And I'd like to hear what you have to say concerning that. I never know what the answers are going to be, y'all. I never know how they're going to affect me. I just know what questions I'm going to ask. So I'm sorry, I might be just saying too much. I'm going to shut up. Shut up and let you speak. All right.
Shut up. Okay, so I think that breaking the stigma surrounding mental health conversations is a nationwide effort. I would even say worldwide effort. It's something that's needed because it's required. It requires a collective commitment, from individuals, families, communities, to have supportive dialogues by actively listening without judgment and educating themselves and others about mental health, sharing personal experiences, and just simply creating safe spaces for discussion. I think it's important to approach mental health conversations with empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to support one another.
Wow. My last question for you, Miss NaTanya, as a therapist with a diverse clientele, can you share a success story or an inspiring experience that demonstrates the profound impact of prioritizing mental well-being on someone's life, showcasing that this is a universal journey that knows no geographical boundaries?
So here's the thing with mental health. Success looks different for each client. For some, it might mean finding the strength to get out of bed in the morning, facing the day despite overwhelming anxiety or depression. For others, it could be maintaining a balanced routine, consistently attending therapy sessions, or taking prescribed medications. I would say that success in mental health isn't always about achieving big milestones. It's about making progress, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may appear to others. It's about learning to manage and cope with one's unique challenges and finding a path to healing that simply resonates with the individual. I would say that there is no blueprint. There's no universal blueprint for success in mental health. Each person's journey is different. It's shaped by their own experiences, their circumstances, and goals. So, some may find solace in creative expression, that's like art, writing, while others may discover peace through meditation or physical activity. Meditation keep coming up, so it must be important. So, ultimately, I think it's crucial to support and validate each person's definition of success in their mental health journey by acknowledging and respecting individual differences.
I got a free question before we get out of here. When you decided that you were going to go on this journey to provide these services, what was your aha moment that you felt like this is what you were compelled and or led to do? How you tie that into the infinite life force and therapeutic solutions? You launched that business. What was your aha moment that this is something that is part of your journey?
I think that I've always been passionate about helping people. So it was just almost like a no-brainer. Like I said, I used to be a police officer, teacher, background, every aspect, everything I've done in my life, I've always been helping people in some form or fashion. Even just my friends, just being available, being a good friend. They've been good friends to me. I think my aha moment, it's kind of hard to say what my aha moment is. I do know that it doesn't feel like work, what I do. I actually had that realization, I would say a few months ago, just when I was sitting in deep thought and meditation, how what I do doesn't feel like work. I enjoy it. I love just helping people, so that's my why. So I can't think of a particular aha moment offhand. We can revisit that.
Well, it has been such a pleasure, Miss NaTanya Albritton. I honor you and your words today. I feel like normalizing these conversations where we're able to unpack some things that may need unpacking and may not necessarily have needed to be there, but for whatever reason or reasons, they're there. So we're getting ready to get up out of here. I want to take a moment to let you know that your local 211 is available to you. If you're having an emergency or a crisis, you want to please make sure that you call 911. A National Suicide Prevention Hotline number is 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can visit their website at suicidepreventionlifeline.org, our crisis center. There's a text available, 741-741. It's a 24/7 crisis line, veterans crisis, local crisis centers, mobile apps. And if you are just wanting to improve your self-care and invest in your own mental health, because it's time, right? The time is now. We've talked about being in the present. We've talked about living in your dash and getting the proper rest. And if you need assistance with doing that, Charlotta cannot help you, but NaTanya Albritton certainly can, right? So I'd like you to tell them in your own words how they can reach you. And we're going to get up out of here, Miss NaTanya.
Well, they can should I leave my phone number or my website?
I definitely would drop the website off if you can do that. And
right.
That might not be technically savvy, may or may not need a phone number. So if you're comfortable with that, but if not, let's drive them over to that website.
All right. And that website is www.infinitedreams8.com. www.infinitedreams, the number 8.com. Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Did I do it? Is that right?
I can't even. Oh, wait, infinite. Yep, that's it.
All right. All right. So LP, I'm really being a big girl over here. If you out there watching, man, I don't be knowing what's be going on with these technical streets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Look.
NaTanya, it was such a pleasure. We have a few more minutes before we get out of here. Is there anything that you want to say to the listening audience as you leave your mark on society? Thank you, number one, before I get up out of here. I'm so sorry. I'm so rude. Thank you for who you are. I'm going to take my glasses off.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for who you are. Thank you for being my friend. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being a first responder in the mental health streets. It is so essential and vital for us to know where we are mentally, spiritually, financially, emotionally, academically. We have to know where we're going, and we have to have a blueprint. And sometimes that blueprint looks real muddy. Sometimes it just looks like meeting what I call reflections like you to help us along the way. I think that as like you said, the helpers, sometimes we're looking at the entrepreneurs and people that are on stage as really doing the work, but it is people like you that are really putting in the work. So I salute you, my friend. I salute you, my professional advisor. I keep telling her I need some counseling, y'all. I don't know. It might be a conflict of interest. You know what I'm talking about? But
I can talk to you as your friend.
I am so honored to have you on the show. I don't know when we'll have you back, but I do know that I want to get you here at least once a month. We've got the holiday seasons that are coming about. It's not a particularly happy time for people. So I want to make sure that we are having these conversations often enough to stay in their face a little bit, to let them know that there's some help available to them and some services available to them. I don't know what your pricing looks like and your billing looks like, but if you're led to reach out to her, I'd love for you all to visit her website and support her in her mission, in her journey to not only help the people of Flint, Michigan, but the people of Michigan and Georgia and abroad. NaTanya, it was my absolute joy and pleasure to have you on the show today. I want you to have a phenomenal day and be well. And I said that I was going to let you say something, as I do. And then I mic down because I don't let you say nothing. So I'm miking down. And then the last voice you're going to hear is hers, y'all. And then I'm going to say like this, and we're going to get up out of here. All right.
Look, all I got to say is thank you for the opportunity. You know, this is just the beginning. So I'm looking forward to the growth that we're going to do together.
We'll see y'all next time on the Shet Show. We'll see y'all next time on